All right, The Purge, episode 3. Let's talk about this. The urge to purge. So we find out that Jenna is pregnant, and Lila here is just not excited about that at all. They clearly had something going on behind his back, because the amount of, I don't know if the word love would exactly be the word I would use, but feelings that Lila seems to have for Jenna, and vice versa. If we're being honest here, I think it seems like they're both really into each other, right? I think Lila is just allowed to be a little bit more open about it because she's not married. And Jenna is, and Rick and her seem to have something good. Although this relationship is going to be put to the test tonight, and it is in this episode for sure. There's already some breakdown between them. But anyway, so now Penelope's character is very confusing to me so far, and that's a good thing. I'm not exactly sure how sold she is to this idea. At times it seems like she's very sold, but I think that's all an act. Now, what would that mean though? So we get flashbacks in this, and we get some, info on why Miguel's the way he is and Penelope's the way she is and all that. And so their parents were part of the first Purge that we see in the movie, The First Purge. And they were told they'd be fine, they just need to stay in their house, and they'd be paid, and they were broke, so they took it, whatever. And of course, that did not end up happening. They ended up losing their lives. So she feels like maybe if she dies in the purge, like she has to be purged upon to go with her parents, maybe in her new belief. I don't think that's it. I think what it is she's just so miserable with this jaded past that she has, that she essentially wants to die. But, she can't bring herself to kill herself. It's much harder than people seem to think it is. It's like, well, why don't they just kill themselves? Because, unless you're completely fucking jacked in the head, you don't want to die. It's just, it goes against human nature. And it's like, well, then why can't she just go out on purge night and get herself killed? That's basically suicide as well, essentially. You have to force yourself to go out there. So she hangs out with these guys. They keep filling her head with this shit. She keeps letting them fill her head with this shit. And while she's sitting there, she's just like, all right, they're going to push me out. They're going to make me do this. It's like assisted suicide. Like, she wants to die, and these people are helping her get to that place. But I'm not sure I'm convinced that she's, bought into this whole thing they're selling specifically. I think she has her own beliefs, but I could be all wrong on this. She could be a full-on, she's fully bought into this, and she just has nerves like anybody would. But I don't know, the expression she gives, she always goes in bold when everyone's looking, like, yeah, like, I'm part of the cause and I believe in it and I'll drink the punch with you guys. But then as soon as no one's looking, she's not reciting any of the chants that they have, or whatever the hell you want to call them, until people, until the Fiona Dorff's character ends up coming in front of her. Then she's like, starts reciting it with them. She has this really nervous, scared look on her face, and she's like thinking back to her family. So I just think it comes down to, she wants to die, and these people are there to help her get there. But I'm not sure she's fully bought into this, and I'm not sure she fully really does want to die. She just wants the pain to stop, right? The misery of that. So her character has definitely been probably the most interesting, because this show, I know a lot of people are dogging it out and saying it's terrible and all this. I don't think it's terrible. I just think that it's so far been fairly lackluster, and I think that can be rectified. Like, I will stick this show out. I'm going to watch the whole damn season for sure, pretty much no matter what. But I have faith that this show can live up to at least some of its potential. And we're getting there a little bit. I completely understand people just want mayhem and craziness in this, but we do need to set up characters. We do need to set up caring and all that stuff. The Miguel and Penelope storyline is really the only one I'm fully engaged in, to be honest. Like the Rick and Jenna storyline, so far it hasn't interested me too much. This ending here with the killing of the guy and all that, that's starting to become a little more interesting. Just and I'll talk about that here in a second. But also the other chick, Jane, right? Her storyline so far, like, it's okay. I'm intrigued a little, but Miguel and Penelope is the only story that I really want to see what happens next. Like, we know that Jane has sent this chick out to kill her boss. I mean, this becomes very, very apparent in this episode for sure when the doorbell rings and all that stuff. Who the hell was actually at that doorbell, we don't know. He says it's the pizza man, but it's clearly a joke. Who the hell was that? Why would he go to answer the door on Purge night when his doorbell's ringing? I have no idea. So I don't know if that's going to be explored or not, but it is there regardless. So anyway, okay, so Miguel is in this Jimmy the Cop bar, and he's not having it. He's just like, oh, wait, kid, I don't give a shit. And then he realizes that he has the car he wants, so all of a sudden he's interested in helping him out. And so Miguel goes back. They find on these closed circuit cameras that he has access to, which it just so happens to be that the bus happens to be right on those cameras, right in that moment, right then and there. Maybe he went and knew where it was going to be and typed it in. We didn't see that, but it just was funny when they walked back. It was like, oh, there's the bus. Like this huge city, and he just so happens to have the cameras on that are looking at that bus right there in that moment. It made me kind of laugh a little bit. But then Jimmy tells him that he created this bar for a safe space so people could think about what the hell they were doing on that night, because his brother was murdered on Purge night and he is just against it, and he wants people to make better choices. Maybe if they have a drink and feel like they're safe, then they won't have to kill, and he can give to that cause by creating this place for them. I thought that was cool. I like the effects that it has on people. That's what's most interesting me about the Purge and exploring this in television series and everything. Just how it kind of seeps into everyday life and creates different ideologies and thoughts on this and different causes and all sorts of things that you're just like, oh yeah, that's kind of a cool idea. Like, because I like exploring that world and thinking of it realistically, and like how certain people, everyone would take it differently. Everyone would have things that affected them in different ways, and they would like spawn off into these different creations and these different thought processes of how life is and just how everything works. So I don't know, when he said that, there's a couple other things here too we'll talk about here in a second. But it was really silly to me because Miguel's sister Penelope has limited time, and then he decides to go outside with Jimmy the Cop and talk to him about the car and the Marines for a little bit. Like, she's got no time. She's like a mile away. You now lost your car. You're on foot during the Purge in a terrible neighborhood. You really got time to sit here and chat and be like, oh man, I didn't know things were really rough for you at that time. It's like, get the fuck out of there. Like, I know, thank you. I'd be like, thank you for the information. I gotta go. Here's the car. Like, I love my sister. I don't got time to jerk around. So I don't know, just him sitting there was annoying me. I was like, get the fuck over there. Let's talk about the core, man. Semper Fi. No, get the... Anyway. Jane is having the guilt set in hard. You can see she is regretting this. She is just wants it over already. She's just like, fuck it. And I think that her assistant, the girl that was jockeying for this promotion, who ends up killing this dude, and thinks she like got the promotion now. Like, she kills the dude, and she's like, so how do I go about getting this promotion now that my competition's out of the way? I took him down below. I took him, it was only upstairs where I signed the waiver. Like, downstairs, I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm part of the Purge again. I killed him off. It's like, all right, now it's time to promote me. How do I go about this? And just like that mentality, that's what I'm talking about. Like the mentality, like, oh, he's competition? Nah, just fucking kill him. Like he should have known better. Okay, so yeah, I mean, a guy doesn't think very well when he's horny, I suppose, and that's absolutely how she manipulated him. But I think after this murder and that she sees how horrible this night is, which she should already know this, but I think that, you know, once she's seen this now, she's going to try to cancel. She's going to try to call that girl. She's going to try to get out of it somehow. And I don't know, maybe that chick, after she tries to pull the plug, she's going to be like, you know, I said no or whatever, and she tries to cancel it, and then she's going to go and try to kill her mom or something, you know, like as a punishment, as a penalty or something, like, you know, I'm going to tell on you, or I mean, can't, it's the purge night. So what can she possibly say? I don't know how that will go down, but her mom is going to have to come into play here as a threat. I know the hospitals are supposed to be off limits, but they wouldn't have set her up if she wasn't coming back into this. Someone's threatening her life. Someone's getting her out of that building, and we have no idea what yet, but I was just thinking about that. Like, what if she tries to call this off and that chick goes over? I don't know. I could be talking out of my ass on that one, for all I know. So then Rick is offered the gun by Stanton after they make their big $75 million, 35% or whatever deal with the devil there and the NFFA. I'm not sure if you're making a deal with these kinds of people, what the hell you're going to think, especially on Purge night, with these guys bringing a guy. And I love how politicized it is, and how the NFFA, the Stanton guy, he just thinks of the purge and purging as politics. Like, it's just, you know, like, oh, you're pro-life? Oh, well, I'm pro-choice, you know, vice versa. Like, that's how he deals with this. When he hands him the gun and Rick hands it back to him, like, oh, I don't mean, he's like, oh, you're not into this? Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I should, like, you know, this person usually updates me about people's political beliefs. Like, so that I don't stick my foot in my mouth. And he just turns around, he just shoots the guy like he's nothing, like he doesn't even exist, which actually kind of goes against his beliefs in a way. Like, he's not purging in that moment if he's like not even thinking about it. Like, you're dead anyway, so back to the party. Like, that's not purging. That's not purging. Like, I think they think it is. I think they, and maybe it was once upon a time for them, but at this point, you know, they're just so used to it. It's just like, whatever. But it's the NFFA. They're doing it to get around lawsuits and stuff. I like that he brings that up. It's like, instead of having to jump through these hoops with the lawyers to punish them, like with lawsuits and all this thing, we'll just round them up and fucking kill them on Purge night. Like, lawsuit taken care of. I don't have to deal with this shit anymore. You know how many corporations and people and millionaires and billionaires that would do that, go that route? Like, oh, they want their money? Yeah, let's fucking kill them on Purge night. We don't have to deal with them anymore. So I like the politics behind that. I like the religious spin on it. Yes, there's some like evangelicist kind of religious stuff in the Purge election year with the NFFA, but so that does play into what the thought process here is of Stanton. But I don't know, it was that whole scene and how that went down and how he was just like, oh, it's just politics. Oh, you don't believe in that? Like, that's fine, I'll shoot him. I apologize. It's just like, death is nothing to these people, and it's just terrifying. And this creates the rift between Rick and Jenna in a really bad time, since she has it out for Leela right now. And then, yeah, I mean, we get to see that Miguel's last words, his dad's last words to him is always protect your sister. And then his mom's last words to him is like, promise me you'll always stay together. Jesus, man, if that's not a mind fuck. I completely understand why he's doing this now, right before they see and hear their parents being gunned down in front of them on this awful, awful night. And then Miguel, I mean, his sister's right there, man. He's right there. The nuns, the freaking nuns, are right there. He have his sister. He doesn't know. And they just point like, we don't want to fight with you. We're here for the chick. Go on. And then he goes, and come on, man. Like, I know she'll play more into this, and she's too big of an actress for this show to just throw away, but I wanted Miguel to shoot Fiona Dorff's character so fucking bad. I was like, shoot the bitch, shoot the bitch, shoot the bitch, shoot the bitch. She just gave your fucking sister away. She serves no more purpose to you. She's only going to continue to spread this bullshit to other lost kids who are killing themselves. She's murdering these fucking people with manipulation. She is murdering these people with manipulation. This is Jonestown bullshit. And it is she needs to be expelled from life. And Miguel should have had that foresight and the freaking, you know, go like, I want her dead. I want her dead. I wanted her dead. I was hoping Miguel was just gonna be like, thank you. That would have made the whole episode for me. But he lets her live, and she's just like, you know, we're all brothers and sisters and this and that. And it's like, okay. Like, dead. But she'll get her own. She'll get it. Then we get to move on to the dude who I had thought maybe was going to be the Baldwin's character here, but I was dead wrong, and someone put below in my comments, because they seem to pay better attention than me sometimes, that Lee Turgensen's character was this guy Joe, which they are absolutely correct. It is him, which is cool. I like that dude from the collection. But he goes in now. What his deal is, like right now they're selling him like he's the good guy, but I ain't buying that yet. I'm not 100% sure what that is. He's a hired protector for specific people. They paid him up, but he's not in a really good area, so who knows how much money they have. She doesn't seem to know who the hell he is. She's like, what the hell is this? And he's like, come with me. You know, he's doing the Arnold, come with me if you want to live. Or the Kyle Reese, whichever way you want to go with it. But yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting thing, because they're playing him out like he's the hero right now. He's blasting these dudes with the shotgun across the place, and he's like, you know, come with me, and she jumps in the truck and he takes her away, and he's, you know. But I'm not sold that he's a good guy. Nope. We don't know what the hell he's up to yet, but I'll believe it when I see it. I don't know. I think he might just be taking these people somewhere, and they were about to kill his bounty. You know, that he's like, hey, get the fuck out of here. But he says you've been breached. So maybe that's the way he sells her on this. He just happened to pull up to this house as people were breaking in. He was there to break in to get her, but then these guys did the job for him. He kills them, and then he manipulates her to get into the car herself instead of having to drag her there because he has to bring her alive. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. I think I knocked up everything here. Sorry this took so long to get to, but I've been busy watching American Horror Story and fucking everything else. Tons and tons of movies. Now I'm going to go watch something else. Let me know what you think about all this stuff. I'm just full of shit. I know a lot of people aren't liking this, so we'll see if this even gets any damn views. All right, guys.